Director of Education, and I am here with my colleagues, Masha Turchinsky, the Director and CEO of the Hudson River Museum, and Olivia Cipriano, who is our Programs Manager, who is taking care of all the tech and the back end and in just such a wonderful way, and with our performers today. So let me read a little bit about what we are about to experience and give you some background on our performers. I should let everybody know that you have been muted upon entry, and we ask that you turn off your videos. That would really minimize the distraction because this is a live performance, and the performers are really, really happy to know that you're there, but they would rather not see you as in the course of their performances. So thank you for your good vibes and your support and for being here. Mashed Up Maps is the final program in celebration of Black History Month. And these three artists will perform visual, verbal, and musical mashups in reaction to their chosen landscapes on view in landscape art and virtual travel. Our exhibition that is on through August 8th, thanks to the support of Art Bridges. And they will be unearthing the multisensory and multilayered responses we have, conscious and subliminal, to the views we encounter in the world. Artist and rapper Umar Rashid, also known as Frohawk Two Feathers, spoken word poet Marcus John, and vocalist Kaira Hassell will travel together through the exhibition, extemporizing on works in a multimedia medley. Now, let me give you a little background on all of our performers today. Umar Rashid, also known as Frohawk Two Feathers, is a natural storyteller. He employs writing, illustration, painting, and sculpture to construct fabulations, or put simply, alternative historical narratives that reference a panoply of cultures, collapsing geography, and time. At the core of his practice is a reimagining of romantic history painting in 18th century colonial scenes. Rashid steers clear of simplistic dichotomies, challenging the viewer with a complex iconographic language of arcane classifying systems, maps, and cosmological diagrams. And, you know, what else is a landscape than a map of our surroundings? Which is why his work is so relevant to what we're talking about today. His work is informed by recognizable cultural references, whether historical materials such as Egyptian hieroglyphs, ledger art, Persian miniature painting, and illustrated Spanish colonial manuscripts, or more contemporary phenomena, such as the hip-hop era of the 1980s and 90s. Alongside these identifiable sources, often regarded as truth, are unseen fantastical stories, with Rashid taking on the role of what one might call a fabulist. His painterly tales complicate the idea of what is true and false, prompting us to consider whether the truths that we are taught may be, in fact, lies. And I have to say, it was such a pleasure hosting his exhibit in 2015, which featured this map, and Umar will talk more about that when we begin. So Kaira Hassell, singer, songwriter, producer of the R&B Soul Top 200 charted EP Road to Love and the hit single Other Side of Tomorrow, Kaira is soulful, vibrant, and consistently bringing us something new. Her infectious optimism and positive approach to life shines through her sonically warm voice and her familiar feeling production. She invites you on a journey to hear the true human heart while you explore a range of emotions. Her freedom, expressed through her writing and musicality, gives listeners a glimpse into the bright future of soul music. And I must say also, Kaira, we have worked with Kaira in our amphitheater and in the galleries for years. She is a native of Yonkers and has honed her musical talent in her father's local church, where she's director of the Sound of Kingdom Adult Choir. And finally, we come to Marcus John, a writer, teacher, poet, and musician. Born and raised in Yonkers, New York, with Grenadian roots as the youngest of 7 children, Marcus has always found joy through writing and performing. As an admirer of hip hop, R&B, soul, and reggae music, they all had an intricate role in his early development. Marcus began writing poetry at the age of 8, performing at 13, and featured in a band as a lead vocalist from 2007 to 2013. In 2009, he formed SoulBox Entertainment. SoulBox is and has remained a staple in the Yonkers community, providing open mics for artists to practice or showcase their talents, and facilitating workshops including poetry, videography, health and fitness, and sexual identity. In 2018, he published a book of prose and poetry titled The Book of John. Marcus is a believer, a leader, and a brother to many. His goal is to write to inspire free thought, open communication, and love back in front. So, once again, landscape art and virtual travel, thanks to the support of Art Bridges. Our mashups, our mashed up maps will begin with Umar Rashid, better known as Frohawk Two Feathers.
Yes. Wow, that was a fantastic introduction. I had to put on my face, as it were. Uh, Today was such a weird day. But first off, I'd like to say thank you to the Hudson River Museum. When I was there in 2015, I had the greatest time. I had the grandest time, and I met Marcus John at that time. I met you, Sarah Linda. Michael Bob Winnick actually saw some works of mine in Cape Town that I had done in 2011, and I guess that's how I got brought to the attention of the museum. And Bartholomew Bland was the director at the time, and so I just want to say shout out to them and thank you. That experience has was great and continues to resonate with me. Although I must admit, at that time, it was so cold that time. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was like literally like sub-zero temperatures. But I was so happy to see the snow, and you were all, Sarah Linda, Masha, thank you. Everyone was so welcome. So let me just get right into it because I know we don't have a lot of time, but I just want to say thank you to Marcus and Kaira and to everybody that really put all this together. This is my first time doing a live Zoom performance, so bear with me and bear with us, I should say. But, it should be a pleasant experience. It's not very long, so, you can listen to this and then get on with the rest of your day. So first off, and regarding, I just want to talk about the map that I did back, and that was included in that original show, Kill Your Best Ideas. I had actually been working on a narrative of the colonial narrative about um, the upstate New York. I mean, well, basically New England, all of New England, and the Dutch and the French and the British and the Swedish. New Sweden, New Jersey, Dirty Jersey, New Sweden used to be a long time ago, Delaware actually. When I made this map, I guess I had gone to a restaurant in Yonkers and I saw this big giant map of the river, because everything, the Hudson River, like informs everything up there. And, it's a beautiful, grand spectacle. So I wanted to, when I did my site visit of the museum, I came back and I cooked up this map, and I actually dedicated this show to Proteus, which is the god of the rivers in Greek mythology, but it's also quite an older deity, Proteus being one of the primordial beings or gods, as whatever you want to call them. So I had a lot of fun making this. This was a great work, and it resonates. I mean, you have to read all the little captions and things. There's some very small writing in there to really get the gist of the piece. And actually, there's a book that you can purchase on Amazon called "Kill Your Best Ideas." It's put out by the Hudson River Museum. That is fascinating, not just because I wrote it, but pretty much because I wrote it. So you could look at that and see, get a feel of all of that. Yeah, it was just and it's like a standard map done in the this the old style, like just basic like the showing the breadth of the river, showing actually New York at the base, little fantastical sea monster, some of the soldiers who fought, and the Egyptian deities of Set and Horus, high-fiving each other with a Hotep salute at the top. So, there's, I mean, in making these works, I make them to be time traveling pieces as they exist in the past, present, and future. So there's a lot in it, in the gesturing and all the, just the detailing and the words and the titles and the intricacies of the text, that you can take away from this particular piece. So, yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say about it. I'm happy that I did it, and again, I'm happy that it's in Yonkers for forever, at least throughout my lifetime. And I also want to say I hope that everyone is doing well, or better, I should say. Because we're all in kind of the same boat with this COVID-19, and I know it's rough. And I actually didn't really want to mention it at all because I fear that, I feel that to talk about things, that are stressful, create stress and, cortisol levels and things like that. And I just want you guys to be relaxed, enjoy this performance, enjoy your day, whatever you're doing. If you're having brunch, if you haven't had breakfast, like I haven't had breakfast, if you had to deal with your children, like I've had to deal with my children, and you're just, here and you're existing, or you're on the East Coast and you're doing well over there, like, be what, be at peace, enjoy this performance. And now I'm going to get into the performance side of the piece. I'm going to be talking about two pieces in the collection. One piece is Landscape by Asher Duran, and Picturesque America, which is a book. And so I didn't. So what I wanted to do, I created a poem, a kind of a lyric poem. I'm going to play a little bit of music, and I hope you can hear it. But what it is I didn't want to take anything that was so uh, literal. I wanted to create, just using the titles of these paintings and the emotion of these paintings, and create another story. So that's what I'm going to do, and that begins now. So we're going to go. So it starts at the Asher Durant, and it moves forward to Picturesque America, and it goes into points and places beyond. So just halfway through, like, you could just adjust the images, if you will. But here we go, and I got to read it, so maybe I should take off this cat mask. Let me look upon you with my own eyes. It's actually, if you're a nerd like me, that's a Darth Vader reference from Return of the Jedi when he was. Anyway. Oh, I just did the wrong thing. So it's going to take me a little bit of time. It's going to take me 2 minutes approximately to 1 minute approximately to get this done. And again, like, I just want to say thank you to everyone for being here. And here we go. We all have a place that we call home. And in this house of justice is a peace left well alone. But due to the mitigating effects of cosmic and human-made pressure, this house is not a home, and you are all alone. Within this dazzling construction, forced to fend for yourself and the very special people that you can't do without. This is chapter 1 and an infinite verse 2. You can't feel a thing until it hurts you. And one day, an associate invents an all-powerful God with no emotions and no regard. Just a ravenous desire for order that makes sense to them and very few others. And not surprisingly, anyone else. Notes on the unspoiled wilderness. Images of the primordial proto-human emerging from the mound. Images of settlements becoming great. Societies lining the river. Taking sanctuary in the estuaries. A sacred land. Praise Proteus. Immediately followed by feast, famine, and internecine conflict, a powerful sachem grabs an impossible rebound. The land flourishes, but is subsequently invaded by God and power-drunk beings from the greater river, faking fraternity and consuming everything. Picturesque America, the land we occupy, the world we live in. Present paradise, a future tomb, a nurturer, and a stone-cold killer of men, women, and children, etc. And here we drift a while and linger, here, confident and defiant, that we've done the right necessary thing, indifferent and compliant with the status quo, angered and inspired, that what was done was much too much and needs to be rectified, unmoved and reliant upon the system created by the violence, dazed in silence, in the waking death of historical memory, and when overwhelmed or caught off guard, annoyingly apologetic, couched in a wave of meaningless gesture and platitude. Oh, the humanity. If given an impossible choice on a correction course, the wildest of us would suffer revolutionary suicide, while the most pragmatic seek a dialogue, all other options exhausted and unpalatable, and maybe if Lady Smith Black Mambazo will partner with Paul Simon and sing a healing hymn again, a soundtrack to the so-called solidarity that soothes some and charts the top 10. Perhaps we'd be closer to a solution for all of the L's, preferable to the wails never heard in the halls of the Prince of Wales or Porto or in the chambers of the Dauphin. Let yourself howl at the injustice. Prepare a golden path for the future. Gilded sun kings and queens, remember, make a restorative path and dream to flourish. Thank you. And that was insane. I'm sorry. But, that's what's coming out of my mind right now. So next up, I'd like to introduce Kaira Hassell. Come on. And, that's just, that was my take on that. But thank you very much. Now we're moving on to some more performances. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Umar.
Oh, you're
Frohawk.
welcome. Yeah.
Appreciate you. Yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. This is amazing. Very weird that we're on Zoom singing to you all. I wish that we were in person and I could, feel all the energy from uh, an audience, but I'm very happy to be here. I would like to thank Hudson River Museum. You guys are in my hometown, so you're so, 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 so important to me. And whenever you call, I will be there because I appreciate what you do for our community and what you do for me personally. You guys have literally done so much for me, and I love you all. Masha, Sarah, Linda, thank you guys. Olivia, and to Umar and to Marcus. I'm so happy that we connected through this. I know that this is going to be a relationship that lasts even after this. Love you both. Okay, so I have the honor and had the honor of writing an original song for one piece, and also this other piece connected so well to me with an already original song. So I'm going to get right into that. All right. So my pieces were this this piece right here in front of us by Alison Mortsugu. Um, and it is entitled Untitled. Um, and for that, I wrote a song that I don't have a name for. Um, I thought that, wait, sorry, no. I wrote a song called So Alone for this one. And there were two quotes that stuck out to me in the write up that Allison had for her about her pieces. Those two quotes were any sense of nostalgia or celebration of nature is countered by the evidence of its destruction. And then the second one was the wilderness we take for granted needs to be our advocacy. And what I took out of that was, you know, especially during these times that we're in, we are kind of in the wilderness and trying to figure it out, and just, you know, and we were isolated, and we were forced to, you know, be in our homes. Some of us were very alone, and like this tree um stump or lump, you know, it fell from something that it was connected to, just like we were connected, so connected to society. But Allison found beauty in this and created a whole world inside of it. So yes, this is a song called So Alone. If I had to ever leave you, I promise I'd never forget you. Moments of loneliness never walk by you. So alone, be alone. Sorry if I ever hurt you. Little white lies turn back and catch you. Moral of story is what goes up must come down. So alone, be alone. So alone, be alone. Yeah. Oh, so alone, be alone, so alone, be alone. Yeah. It's a temporary feeling. Yeah. Spend some time with yourself. Oh, it could only last a moment. Yeah. Only time we will tell. Oh, it's a temporary feeling. Yeah. Spend some time with yourself. Oh. It could only last a moment. Yeah. Only time we will tell. Yeah. So alone. Be alone. So that song is called So Alone. So Alone, So Alone. I can only see Umar, so thank you for that clap. um, yeah, So Alone. Yeah. Okay, so the next one I had was um, by Jordan Matter, and it's called Vista. And it is an image of a dancer facing the Hudson River. Um, and I, as soon as like we had the options of what to choose, this one really stood out to me. Um, I am in love with my city, Yonkers, and the Hudson River is often a place that we go to, eat and to hang out with friends and to be with family, to be alone and just, be in nature. It's a beautiful view, especially in the summer. We have all of that foliage. So it's just gorgeous. And as an artist, I can kind of relate to this dancer. She just feels free. Um, in nature, it seems as if she feels really free. And yeah, I wanted to write this song because, again, I've been inspired to write these two particular songs um during this last 2 years, because I think it really these 2 years have taught me to appreciate what's right in front of me, and to kind of, when everything else seems like it's failing, to find what is beautiful. And often that was what was right in my home, my friends, my family. So yeah, I wrote this song. It is untitled. Maybe we can come up with a title together. Yeah. Out of the window, you say, lives all the love I need. I think it all lives right inside. Some things seem far away until you open up your eyes to see the beauty that's right inside, yeah. Inside of your home, of your family, of your friends, and you. Inside of your home and your family, of your friends and you. When it all looks dark out there, no hope and much despair, put the phone down and close the window. See what's in front of you, isn't that more beautiful? Focus on the things that are inside, yeah. Inside of your home and your family, of your friends and you. Inside of your home and your family, of your friends and you. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, oh. Focus on what's inside of your home and your family, of your friends and you. Inside of your home and your family and your friends and you. Inside of your home and your family, all your friends and you. Yeah, so I hope that you all just focus on when things start to get crazy. And if they ever get crazier than 2020, focus on yourself, focus on your friends, on your home, whatever that is, wherever that is. And yeah, just keep your head up, everyone. Thank you. All right. So again, thank you, everyone. I just wanted to say that I am very excited. This week, this Thursday, I am dropping my next project. It's called Prism, and I hope everyone can stay tuned on Thursday. This Thursday at 7 p.m., I'll be doing a live watch with everyone on YouTube. So you guys can find my social media at Kaira Hassell and watch it with me this Thursday. But without further ado, I would like to introduce you guys to Marcus John.
Okay, check. All right, perfect. Peace. I hope everyone's been enjoying the show thus far. I know I have. Frohawk and Kaira, y'all did an amazing job. I want to just thank the Hudson River Museum for having us today, and Art Bridges as well, for putting together this wonderful program and performance. You know, I love a lot of the pieces that are in the upstairs gallery of the museum. You know, I'm born and raised in Yonkers, and I don't live too far from the museum. So it's somewhere that the Hudson River and the museum is something that has always been kind of like in my backyard. So it holds a special place in my heart. And just like Kaira said, you know, I love Yonkers. I love my city, and I love the things that we can put together when we come together for things like this, and sometimes even greater festivities. Today, I'm going to be talking about two pieces. So I am a poet, I am a writer, I'm a spoken word artist, I do music as well, but both of these pieces kind of jumped out at me and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. So, you know, I feel like art is something that's always in process. So I do have my pieces together for the both the artwork, but you know, they're still a work in progress. So I'm like feeling them as I'm writing them. And you know, with any poet, you know, sometimes because of 2020, we weren't really so much as active as we would like to have been. So being thrusted back into the performance realm and like writing and feeling again, you know, I just wrote from the heart for both pieces. So the Horace Pippin one is called Holy Mountain. And it spoke to me right away because I recognized this man. He seems like a man of color. He has some tint to him. And he's in like a cotton fleece type of gown, you know, in a forest or some sort, or the woods, surrounded by so many animals, just surrounded by animals. And the first thing I thought of was the black sheep, you know, and if you're the black sheep of the family. So I took that direction. And I just found it interesting because Kaira and Frohawk, we went through this rehearsal, but none of us talked about the theme of home. But it just seems like all of our pieces have a little bit to do about home. So I just find that kind of surreal. All right, so this is the first piece. It's called Black Sheep. Black sheep, the mountain you graze upon is holy. The lonely lands you survey are sacred ground. Cut from a different cloth, your stitchings didn't match the jeans. Couldn't quite comprehend why you didn't blend with your family's design. Perhaps you were made from one of those rare fabrics, or the kind of material that doesn't generate so often. Somehow, you got placed aside, labeled out of fashion, not in, but they're all polyester. You are cotton, adapting to any habitat, still unsure how this came to pass. Surrounded by all these other animals, what type of flood could saturate a land so vast? Was it the tears of the father who chose fangs over fervor? The sweat of your brother, with paws no beast to compare with? The fights amongst you turned grisly, and you couldn't bear it? Or maybe it was the spit from your sisters. One slithered, the other purred, planted trust in their gardens of Eden, only to watch it wither. Pruned before you fully bloomed a childhood so perverse, took the light and air away from you, photosynthesis in reverse. Raised as a cannibal, a predator was at the hands. You and your siblings couldn't speak a peep, it was silence of the lambs. With a moth as a mother, who reveled in darkness and seasonal depression, so every day was winter. The snow covered up the wood. You watched the family splinter. A tundra of a parent, she had an igloo for a heart. But your belief was a son that one day they'll get it right, because that's what saturated this land, the melting of the ice. So stay forever green, remain light when they bring shade. They can't see the forest through your trees, or the message through the mess. You are the one to right the wrong. So for every black sheep, you were the shepherd all along. Okay, so that was the first piece. And then I'm going to switch over to the next piece, good, by David Hockney. Oh, okay, so sorry. For the first piece, you don't have to switch back. I'm just going to refer back to it. I did want to look up some information about both the artists. So for the first piece, I can't think of his name just so quickly, but for Holy Mountain, he wrote that, he painted that after his experience through World War II. So that's where I kind of got the Horace Pippin. Thank you, Sarah Linda. So Brother Pippin, he wrote that after his experience going through World War II. And sometimes when you have those type of families issues, it could feel like a war, but you know, it's all relatable when it's about home, because wars are about protecting your home territory. And sometimes those family issues are about protecting your own personal boundaries. So, you know, moving forward, speaking of boundaries, this piece by David Hockney is, you know, the study of the Grand Canyon. And I also looked this one up, and Brother Hockney said he went out there a couple of times. It was over a couple of years that he had different experiences with the canyon, trying to understand its many different layers and where it was coming from and try to how to get the scope of it. So this piece took some time for him to actually put together, or many trips. So once I read that, I kind of related that to our experiences with maybe love and understanding. And sometimes we have to revisit things over and over again. And maybe something that looks like, you know, it's not together, like a canyon, that is something that's, you know, spacious or split, you know, to you, it could just be, it could be beautiful. So I wrote this about this piece. It's called How the Canyon Became Grand. As the mountains reduced back to molehills, we were able to see the path we walked that led us here. Beneath the surface, I knew not to worry. Our foundation was built on solid ground. Traveled too many rocky roads without a destination, trying to find direction on a mashed up map. When our lanes crossed, I curved, but you swerved and showed me the way without being pompous. When I was lost, you were the compass. My view was a bit askew. Scouring the land, searching for affection, I always believed that love was red. Always had faith someone would match the hue, but in time, learned to settle for ruby, romanticize scarlet, bargain with the sky and pray for majestic, but sleep with magenta. They were nothing like red. They said time and space are the same. So with space, my belief eroded. My tears formed an estuary searching for a route. If water was emotion, I was drowning in a drought, but you saved the day. As my heart concaved, you reached in the trench and pulled me out. Over the ledge with excitement, I knew it was right, but was too used to those other trails. And when I shifted, you stayed. When I quaked, you stayed. And when I split, you stayed. My vision diluted by too many other shades. It was red before my eyes with a peak I didn't have to scale and enough range to span. I was always one with the earth, but this was the day I became land, a picturesque landscape of what they see as collage, but we know as whole, and we know we're home, surrounded by grand. Okay, and that was the second piece, the study of the canyon. So I want to thank everyone for joining today, and the Hudson River Museum for having me and Kaira and Frohawk. And I'm gonna throw it back, or boomerang it back over to Umar. All right, y'all, peace.
Umar, I think we need you to unmute.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I just got it. So anyway, so that was the that was the penultimate performance to our collaborative project that we worked on. So the logistics of doing this live was going to be crazy. So our goddess Kaira decided to help us men out and put everything together, we recorded all our verses, and I must say, like, Kaira, Marcus, that was super powerful. Thank you so much.
We got it done. We got it
like,
done.
I know, but our rehearsal, I was like, I wasn't kind of ready. Like, you started feeling, y'all caught me in my feelings, So anyway, so this is our last, we're making actually very good time. So this is we don't have I guess we're gonna call this connection for right now, but this is a video that we put together, and this is the end. This is the end of it. So just watch this, and I guess, are we coming back for some sort of to say what we're doing after all this, like what's next for everybody here?
I think that would be great if you guys still have the energy. I'm sure the audience would love to hear from you at the end.
Okay, well, I'll just tell you what I'm doing right now. I'm doing absolutely nothing, but I'm locking myself in the studio and I'm working on some paintings, and you'll see me again like in the summer. So that's all that I got. Oh, but Kill Your Best Ideas on Amazon from the Hudson River Museum if you already don't have it. It's a great book, and all the proceeds get donated to restore it. No, I'm actually making that up. I don't know where the proceeds, but anyway, it goes back to the museum because they need it, and museums are important because stuff like this can happen. Okay, so all right, let's go.
Umar, thank you.
You're welcome.
Connection, art, peace, power.
Yeah, pull up a chair, we got a bundle of shit. I'm about to play the ball like your favorite uncle in here. It was cool like it was, but the game got critical. And I ain't thinking that the plan is going digital. No, beside, I'm betting on my people to rise. Like I believe there is belief somewhere here deep in these tribes. We got creators, the shapers, the healers, from deeper, the changes that create a new world, a rebirth. But not to front, some of my peoples be bugging. They play bees in this trap to get fly, be slugging. My skin crossed to watch them fall in line like ants. I'm doing everything I can to break them out of the trance. Staying true to my stance while making musical rants and get noodles on these bugles so my pupils advance. If communication's key, then we can lock in the talk. I do the work with Sister Hassell and my bro Frohawk. We need
connection, art, peace, power. Listen, have you ever been on a train moving slow? Destination on your mind, something's wrong with the flow. Listen, pick up the pace, have a little faith, protect all your space, have a little grace. Yeah, hey, listen, one thing at a time. Baby, let your light shine, yeah. Spread all the love and not the hate. Come together. Everybody, let's create. Hey, listen, connection, yeah, art,
peace,
come on,
power,
Frohawk.
Quiet nights, quiet stars, riot sounds on violent nights, flashing lights, a world bizarre. Human rights, a firefight, shining bright like the break of dawn, break of 1-9. Got that sunshine feeling, not worried about one time. Notice the way we maneuver the manure in this stressful cesspool, and infinitely cooler than the rest do. Guess who? The special trio from the Riverlands, hot like Rio, and there ain't no equivalent. Don't believe me? Go tell it to the mountain man. Jump up, river dance, or run like a fountain pen. So at the times we forgot to keep counting, damn. And if you doubt it, you can bounce, fam. I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in on the Zoom room. Check it, boom, boom, bada bim.
Connection, art,
Peace.
Peace.
Peace. That's a good one. Yay! Thank you, everybody.
Can we see people's faces now?
Yeah, please. I was going to say, everybody show yourselves. I thank you so much, Umar.
Amazing.
Marcus. Wow. Wow. I just feel so privileged to have been in your company and to be able to work with you and to continue working with you all. You know, Umar, Kaira, Marcus, you're just part of the fabric of the HRM, and we are so lucky to have you. And we are so lucky to have such a wonderful and supportive audience here, from not just from Yonkers, but I see people from the UK, from Italy, as well as, you know, as the area. So that's the one good thing about this magical Zoom. You know, we can be everywhere all at once, even though we're not together, but in a way we're more together than ever. So I really wanted to thank everybody. And I did put some links in the chat earlier to other programs that that we have done about the landscape art and virtual travel exhibition. And I am trying, I don't think it went in, I'm trying to put in some upcoming programs in March. Going to try. So far it hasn't worked, but on March 14th, which is a Sunday at 1:30, we have virtual travel through the 5 senses. And the sense we're focusing on next month is touch. And this is inspired by the Ana Mendieta video. So, and that's a family program. And then on the 27th, we have a program, Mythologies of Return, Ana Mendieta and the Reimagining of Cuban Landscape, which is an author talk in honor of Women's History Month by Dr. Adriana Mendez Rodenas, who is a professor of Caribbean and Latin American literatures at the University of Missouri. And finally, on the 28th, we are welcoming back the Fiery String Sisters to the Hudson River Museum, virtually, of course, for a concert about women around the world. So those are just a few programs inspired by the exhibit, which was curated by Laura Vukels, who's here in the audience, our chair of the curatorial department under the direction of Masha Turchinsky, our director. So I don't know if Kaira or Marcus, you wanted to mention upcoming things, following up on what Umar said before we say bye-bye to everybody?
Yes, Marcus, you can go first.
Okay, definitely. Oh, thank you, Kaira. And thank you to everybody that still hung out for the after chat. We appreciate this. So I think someone put it in the chat. I'm pretty sure it was Masha or Sarah Linda, but I do have a book out. It's called The Book of John, and it is on sale right now at the Hudson River Museum in the gift shop. So if you travel over to the Hudson River Museum, you could pick yourself up a copy and see some of the paintings on display right now that we were performing to, and maybe remember the poems or the songs and go next to them and stuff, take a picture, tag us. And then I think Alan Lang and Sister Annie are still in here for Sarah Lawrence College. I have another Zoom performance coming up with them for their civic theater engagement with Yonkers on Sunday, March 14th at 7 p.m. I'm going to get everybody the time, but if you follow my Instagram page at SoulBox_ENT, you'll see the flyer. It's with myself and another young artist named Tyreek Kidd, who I actually met as a teaching artist for the museum during the Kill Your Best Ideas exhibit back in 2015. And we still work together, and he's actually gonna be on the set with me on March 14th. So it's just funny how this just keeps going in a full circle and keeps going. All right, and yeah, that's it for myself, and I appreciate everybody coming on today. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you, Marcus, for tying it up neatly for us. Who would have thought we'd be here today after that day viewing Kill Your Best Ideas and working with Umar? It's just so wonderful to be with everyone. Have a great rest of the afternoon.
Wait, me first.
And Kaira,
Oh,
yes, sorry.
yeah.
Oh,
Don't
sorry,
forget-
Kaira, you were so
Don't forget
polite.
about me,
You
Sarah
were so,
Linda.
oh my God, how could I do that?
No, it's okay. But I did want to just let everyone know this Thursday I am putting out a short film and I scored the short film with all original songs. But the short film was executive produced by the late Daniel Wolf. So it's very special to me, and special to the art community. He invested in this Yonkers girl, and it's really, really special. And I've been making it for 2 years, so I'm finally putting it out. This Thursday, March 4th, we'll be able to stream it, watch it together on YouTube Live at 7 p.m. March 4th. And you'll also be able to listen to the EP, which is the score, on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you listen to music. So yeah, this Thursday, it's called Prism. Yeah, and I'm really excited about it.
Yay!
Kaira, could you please send us the link when you have it
Yes, of course.
so we can share it? Because I know we've been looking forward to this for a long time, and it will be a wonderful tribute.
Yes.
And I mean it when I say that your soul shines through your music.
Oh,
It really
thanks.
does, and it's just been such a pleasure. And I know we'll have more good times together. just like-
Yes.
That's for you.
Thank you. Anybody else before we sign off?
Oh, you know what? Last thing. Sorry to,
Yes, no.
to be that last person, but I didn't shout out. I just saw Laura there. I wanted to say what's up to Laura. I haven't seen her in a while. Hey, Laura, how's it going? And Olivia, thank you so much for sending all those amazing emails that I didn't pay any attention to. However, I did not pay attention to it out of spite. I just didn't pay attention to them because I get a lot of emails every day. But thank you so much. And I did read half of them. Also, last time this year, I was actually at the museum for Derek Adams' show. And I saw Masha. I was like, man, who's that? Well, I saw you, Sarah. I saw you, Sarah Lynn, at first, but I saw Masha with the hat on, with the fur hat. And I was like, man, there's no way COVID's gonna ruin this picnic. And now here we are. Anyway, I just want to tell you, like, kill your best ideas.
Thank you. And they will live on forever. just like what's happened here today. So again, thank you for this amazing collaboration, bi-coastal, magical, and enduring. So thank you all, and thank you for your support, family, friends, and colleagues.